Hey guys, I just wanted to come on here real quick and talk about the excitingness of us doing our first task oriented training. So, I can't train the diabetic alerts until I actually have like low blood sugars, which is probably not going to happen until I'm off the prednisone. So, I have like 3 samples in the freezer, but that's not enough to do consistent training. I need like a good backlog to do consistent training. So, I'm holding off on that. But doing um, we are starting our first task training, which is DPT or deep pressure therapy. The consensus behind this is it's used for POTS mostly, but it can also be used for low blood sugar situations. In that scenario, Tux basically becomes a heavy weighted blanket on my legs. And if I'm lightheaded because of my blood sugar is really low, then her laying on my legs will kind of divert blood flow back up to the upper half of my body, theoretically improving the lightheadedness. So we started that today, literally like 5 minutes worth of it, and she picked it up so fast. I knew she was going to be pretty apt at this because she already likes laying in people's laps. So to her, this is like, oh, I get a treat for laying in your lap. This is a fantastic game. So I'll go ahead and play the clip now of us doing that training session, and then I'm going to talk about some other stuff. That was a little overexcited. Thanks. Over. Good. Over. Over. You guys can't see that tail wagging so fast. Come here. Good girl. Over. Good job. Good job. So I did have a dog trainer come yesterday to do the evaluation, and they said that she was a good service dog candidate. And then today they came back and they're like, "No, she's too old. We don't want to do it." I don't care what you think, dude. she's 6 years old. She's not a spring chicken, but she's also not like an elder either. She's literally middle aged, and I swear this dog is so smart. I have had her almost a month, and 9 days out of that month I was at the hospital, so we didn't really start the training until about 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. And in those 2.5 weeks she has picked up sit, down, we're working on stay, leave it, circle, and now the deep pressure therapy as well. Like, this is a very smart dog. So realistically, it's not going to be like it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's probably going to be like, I'm going to say 5, 6, 7 months before I could consider her like fully trained, maybe even a year. But I'm just putting in the work. And like I said, while I'm waiting to do the task training for the actual like major task of hers, which is the alerting, we can add in other things. We can work on the DPT. We can work on retrieving emergency medication. We can work on just basic, sit, stay, down stuff. We can work on public access. We did that yesterday, and she did so perfect. I took her for a walk at the beach first, and then we went to the bank because I had to do some stuff, and she literally just sat there and just was so perfect. So, and I personally, if you guys have been around for a while, you guys know that I had Panda, and I trained him from a puppy, and he was kind of like the first dog I've ever trained. I had Bella before Panda, but Bella was partially trained already. Panda was like completely from scratch, and that's kind of where I'm at with Tux, just 6 years later than Panda. So, I have experience in training the basic obedience. I'm very confident in that. I've done it 3 times now. But this is the first time I've working with training a service dog, and I honestly, it's a little intimidating, but I feel like I can do it. I feel like she is so smart, and while the alerting is going to be the hardest part because that's kind of like converting to real life scenarios versus just a formal training session, I feel I feel 100% confident that we can do it. We're just going to be on our own timeline. And as weird as this sounds, I'm going to wait for some low blood sugars because I haven't been low. And like, you know, I'm not going to be low while I'm on the prednisone. Tomorrow I drop to the lower dose for a week, and then we'll see what happens after that. I'm going to train her to alert from 75 and below. Some people with diabetic alert dogs, they do like 90 and below, but because of me, it's more like reactive hypoglycemia. I'm going to do 75 and below. So if I did 90 and below, the dog would be tasking the entire time and I'd drive her ballistic. So that is the plan. I'm excited to take you guys along on this journey. And yeah, I'm very hopeful and very looking to the future. I'm very excited to see where we are a year from now versus today.